Growing a business is kind of tricky right now. Supply chains are squeezed, tariffs and trade policies are dynamic, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. You need clarity to come out on top. Without it, you risk falling behind. If only you could hop in the DeLorean and see the future, right? Thankfully, there's NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite has real-time forecasting to help you move ahead with confidence. This is your AI-powered business management suite and the #1 cloud ERP. Trusted by over 42,000 businesses, NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. And with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. You spent months building towards launch day, but when the clock hits 0, your site crashes. Bots swarm, and loyal fans rage on Reddit. That's not good. Fanfare was built to stop that. Fanfare is the drop platform made for high-pressure moments, stampede-proof infrastructure, verified waitlists, and bot filters that actually work. Instead of refunds and rage, you get retention and revenue. And that sounds great to me. Your next launch shouldn't be a gamble. Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook and learn how to bulletproof your drop at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, that's fanfare.io/playbook.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. If he was a Power Ranger, he'd be the green one, Pat Flynn.
Well, it happened. After 14 years and so many days, it happened. My son is now a high schooler. Whew. And he literally just had his graduation, or we call it promotion, here at the school that he's at, or he was at, yesterday. And so I've had time to reflect on this, and my wife and I definitely had a lot of emotions yesterday. And as a couple who has been able to spend every moment with our kids through every milestone, this is definitely the one that it's put a lot of things in perspective. We were there for his first steps. We were there for his first words. We were there for his first day of preschool and kindergarten, first grade, all the way now finishing 8th grade. And he's been a part of our story, a part of my story at SPI. Many of you may remember a blog post from back in 2009 when he was born. He's been on the show a couple times back when he was much, much younger. Some of you might have even seen him on a live stream during the pandemic. He and I played Fortnite, and some of you may have caught a glimpse of that on Twitch when we had a little channel that we started just so we can bond and do things together. And then it turned into a bond over Pokemon, and he kind of outgrew that rather quickly. I obviously have not. But man, I'm so proud of him. My wife and I both are. This episode is less about business strategies and tactics and email this and ads that and SEO this, and those things are important and will always change, but just like the people around us, they change and they grow, and you got to learn how. I don't even know where this is going. It's a weird package of emotions right now. It's excitement. I'm so excited for Keoni's future. He struggled in 6th grade a lot with his grades, and he ended up graduating 8th grade with straight A's. He's really excited about band and playing the trumpet, and I played the trumpet when I was his age, and I went on to play high school marching band and college marching band and even drum corps, and on his own, he's expressed doing a lot of the same things. And we're really blessed that he's been able to surround himself with a lot of amazing teachers who have guided him along the way, a lot of great friends who have supported him. And it's not always been perfect, not even close. April and I have not always been perfect, but we're definitely grateful that we've been able to spend as much time with him as possible. He's at that age now where he's now staying in his room quite a bit or speaking more with his friends than with us. He opens up to us when things are hard, though, which is we're grateful for. And my wife and I are learning to adapt as he is now, in his mid-teens and is going into high school level. And his sister just graduated 5th grade as well. So she's going into middle school. It's a big transition year for all of us in the Flynn family, for sure. And the one thing that is true is that it has just gone by so fast. And I know that's cliche to say, but my gosh, where has the time gone? Where has the time gone? It's sprinkled with memories of trips and funny moments and the highs, the lows, all those sorts of things. I remember some of the days being very long. During the pandemic, I remember we tried to get the kids to do PE at home. There was a YouTube channel called PE with Joe, and the kids were just not having it. Although that was a tough time because we, again, wanted them to move around and get some exercise in, but we couldn't go out anywhere. I would do anything to relive those moments again. It doesn't really feel like time is slipping away or passing us by in a way where, I'm not conscious about it not happening. I'm not detached to the events and the time and the things that are going by, but man, they are going by fast. And so I've been learning as I've personally grown older. I'm 41, going on 42, seeing my kids grow up and, my son's taller than my wife now and is going to surpass me. I'm almost positive. He's very close. His voice is deeper, almost as deep as mine, if not more. But we're learning to cherish every single moment. And it's hard now because we're trying to find just little pockets of time where we can spend time all together because we know that's not going to be forever. And we're on the sort of opposite end of the halfway point now. My wife and I had a discussion the other day about going on dates with our kids, something that I learned from a number of other people who have had kids a lot older who have done it or wish they had done it. And what that means is both my wife and I will go on dates with the kids in just more of a solo fashion or just with one of them at a time, just to give them some space. And, I would go out on a date with my daughter and we'd do something she'd want to do. And then, the next week I'd do the same thing, but with my son and do something with my son, and my wife would do the same with both kids each. And I really am excited about that, because I know that because we're spending less time together now, that will become more important, that those little moments of time where, the other sibling isn't around, they can open up and express things in their own way, or at least have what they know will be a safe space for them, not just during those moments, but moments into the future when they go through tougher times in their lives, when they need some help, when they're going through some stuff. Or the opposite, when maybe my wife and I are going through some stuff and we need some help from them. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy how fast it goes. My son turns 15 at the end of the year. He'll be able to get his driver's permit, which means next year he'll be able to drive. It's kind of interesting, though. He's not as anxious to drive as I remember being when I was a kid. I don't think having a car seems, at least where we're living perhaps, quite as important as it once was. But those are scary things to think about, right? The fact that he'll be behind a wheel, that he'll be responsible for the lives of everybody else on the road at the same time and, have to make smart decisions and, trying to lead by example with that, not having the phone in the car while driving or not getting distracted, and already starting to feed him some of the important points about driving. There was something my dad said that has always stuck with me when it comes to driving. This idea that in order to stay safe, you have to drive like everybody else on the road is absolutely a nutcase. And that has saved me a few times. And I'm just so grateful that I had gotten laid off in 2008. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd still be in architecture. I'd be working late nights. I'd be more stressed out. I'd probably take that out on the kids in anger or shortness or whatever it might be. We were looking through our photo album, like on our phones, right? Going back to when Keone started school, and then we started scrolling back even more. And then that's when his sister was born, and scrolling back even more and seeing him just born. I had no idea what I was doing. He was the first baby that I'd ever held. I was too afraid to hold anybody else's babies. Some of my friends had babies, and I was just too afraid. I thought I was going to drop them, and here I was, brand new father, first time mother, trying to figure it out. Son was born a month early. We had no health insurance because I had gotten laid off. It was like so many good things and so many bad things at the same time. But we made it work. We didn't know how. We didn't have a plan per se. We just figured it out day by day. Remember when we had Keone, we had gotten some help from a lot of people. My parents, her parents, friends who've had kids, saying, you should do it like this, you should do it like that. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is how we did it. And it was all conflicting information, it felt like. So we just said, we're just going to do this on our own and figure it out. We didn't read all the books. We didn't watch all the shows to understand how to raise a child. We just kind of made sure that she and I communicated the entire time. And that has been so important. The reason I'm sharing all of this with you today is just to release. Because we've definitely worked hard. We've definitely have gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of incredible successes. A lot of people know me for the business, but they don't necessarily know what happens at home. And like in the business, there's ups and downs at home too. And my wife has been an incredible partner. And the communication that we've had along the way has been key to making sure that we're allowing our kids to have the best opportunities possible. We're even at the point now where we're talking about, well, what happens? Do they go to college? If they want to, if that makes sense. They have the opportunity to go to college, but we don't want to force that on them. We want that to be a decision that they want to make. And whether they go to college or travel or, I don't know, go back to school for something else, we know it's just going to be different. And it's sad. We shed some tears last night when the kids were asleep, finally after a big celebration day, and we had finally some time to decompress after the graduation and all that stuff. We had started talking about, well, what happens when the kids are gone, when they're out of the house? We don't need to be in the house that we're in now. We moved here for the school, for them. And it's done its job. It's doing its job. I mean, we're not done yet. I mean, I know high school is coming up, and I remember high school. Had some of the best times of my life in band and had some of the worst times of my life getting bullied. So I recognize that there's still a lot of things that are going to happen, both good and bad, for Keone probably, and that we want to make sure that we're just there for them, that they know that they can come to us to chat. And perhaps I'm recording this for them as well, because I know in a few years Kai is going to be graduating into high school as well. Things are going to get busy. They're going to have to learn how to manage their time and activities with responsibilities and schoolwork and education, as well as friendships and boyfriends, girlfriends, breakups. And a rush of memories have come back to me while talking about the kids recently on my time at school. 800 episodes later of the SPI podcast. And I mean, if the timing is right, with maybe 52 episodes a year, by the time we hit episode 1,000, that's perhaps when Keone is graduating. A couple hundred episodes later, 4 years. And that's wild, dude. That is so wild. Slow down. See what's around you. And don't let those moments go by without appreciating them. Thank you all for being here on this journey with me and for allowing me just to share just some thoughts top of mind on family and life and where things are at now. I wanted to create this as a timestamp for where I'm at. I know my voice might sound kind of soft right now, but man, I'm so proud. So freaking happy. And so excited. And just satisfied. Love you all. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. Look, I get it. You want to grow your business, but trying to sell to hundreds or even thousands of people gets very exhausting very fast. But what if you could sell at scale with a simple, powerful quiz? ScoreApp helps you sell to more people without adding more to your plate. You build a quiz or assessment that your audience actually wants to take. Then they answer a few quick questions and get a personalized result right away. It shows them where they're at and what they need to do next and how you can help. And you build huge amounts of trust before you make even a single offer. No hard sell, no chasing leads, just value at scale. Get 50% off the first 3 months using the discount code SPI. All you have to do is just head to scoreapp.com/SPI. Again, that's scoreapp.com/SPI. Have you dreamt about being your own boss, but still haven't made the first steps to making that dream a reality? Well, I get that. Starting a business can feel super overwhelming with legal forms, paperwork, finances. It's a lot. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Taylor Brands. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal assets and the business assets separate from day one. From there, you get access to everything you need to get off the ground. Legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program, all designed to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, listeners of this show get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. All you have to do is head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands.